Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. So let's get started. Here's a nice copy of Kimiko Primer number 5. My old copy was probably a 5.0. I had sold it and upgraded to this 8.5 copy. It's a really nice copy. And here's the funny thing about it. When I purchased my 5.0 copy, I think I paid like $75 for it. Now, I don't know if that is expensive or not back then because I had it for several years. This copy, I think, cost me like 30 bucks. So I was like, geez, what was I thinking way back when? But I was happy I was able to do it and get a nicer copy for cheaper. Here we go. Man Called Nova number 1. I'm probably still going to try to get another copy of this. This is an 8.0 copy, so it's not super high grade for a Bronze Age book. It's got a little bit of an issue up here, but other than that, it's really, really nice. But I might want to try to get like a 9.2 if I can, if the price is right. But anyway, I remember when I first started looking for an upgrade to this book, it was on Facebook. Some guy was selling it, and I had asked, because sometimes they don't show good pictures, right? So I asked him, can you send me better pictures? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he sent me better pictures, and I was like, okay, well, thank you. And he's like, oh, do you want the book? I was like, well, no, it's not necessarily in the condition I'm looking for. He's like, oh, well, could you tell me what was wrong with it? And I said, well, the corner looked blunted. And then he types back, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, don't ask for feedback if you can't take it. But that was that was several years ago. This is a little funny story behind it. Oh yeah, its corner's blunted. No, it's not. Yeah, actually it is. There's another one. And this is probably an 8.0 copy of Marvel Spotlight too. Here's a little funny, not really a funny story. It's actually sad. Story behind this one. When I purchased my original copy, and once again, this was a few years ago, okay? I'm not making these mistakes now. But once again, check the book, okay? Check the book. If you see a price that's too good to be true, guess what? It usually is. So anyway, a guy bought this at a con, and a guy had it for like 40 bucks or whatever. I was like, oh, well, done. I get home. It's complete. No restoration or anything like that from what I could see. I'm no expert, but I do have eyes, and I didn't see anything like that. Unfortunately, even though I do have eyes, sometimes they don't work too well. The cover was split, like from here to almost right here, the other staple. I was like, mother effer. God damn it. And ever since then, I was looking for an upgrade. And last year, or was it a year and a half ago? I don't really remember. I think it was more like in 2017. I was from 2015 or 2016 when I bought the original one. I was finally able to upgrade it for a nice 8.0 copy. So check the books. There's going to be another book in this video where I'm going to remind you about checking the books. There we go. Oh, wow. You can't really see that, can you? So adjust the camera just a little bit. There we go. She-Hulk number 1. I had a 5.0 copy. I had a little bit of staining on the bottom. Nothing too bad, nothing too noticeable, but it was there, and it had other issues that made it a 5.0. So recently, I was very happy to upgrade to a nice 9.0, 9.2 copy. I think with a press, it'll probably be a 9.2, but it's very, very nice copy, front, back, and inside. Okay, story time. You've heard this story when I showed this book in Comic Book Hall. I think it was 32 or whatever. Anyway, I had an X-Men number 9 that was probably like the same grade, 4.5, 5.0. I think this is a 4.5. But it was nice. Nice looking. This is nice looking. Looks good. And I bought it from a well-known store in New Jersey. I'm not going to name them. If you saw my Comic Book Haul 32, sorry for repeating the same story. But if you haven't, here's the story. The guy was selling it for $90 or $100. Now, usually when there's an issue with the book, they will write on the sticker or something, cover detached, or centerfold detached, or slight markup on the cover, something. I've seen this store do that before. Now, granted, that maybe they have so much inventory, they don't get a chance to look through them all. I get it. Mistakes happen. But unfortunately, I don't like mistakes. And it happened to me. And I only have myself to blame for this because I did not check the book. However, let me just finish the story. I'll tell you another little short story about this store. But anyway, I purchased the book. It was expensive. $90 to $100. Okay, that's what I expect to spend. This was back in 2014. That's what I expected to spend for a 4.5, 5.0 copy of this. Maybe it was a little on the cheaper side, but they weren't selling for hundreds of dollars. The price sounded about right, so it didn't seem like it was such a great deal. So I bought it, and it looked good. And then I noticed as I opened it, the front page was out. And then when I took an even greater look or deeper look into it, the reason why the front page was out was because the back page, the last part of that wrap was ripped out because it was a pinup. So that's why the front page was detached. So I was like, Jesus. I didn't go back to the guy and say anything because, like I said, when I spoke about this previously, he could just simply say, well, we don't do returns, or how do I know you got it here, all that stuff. So I just said, you know what, eat it. I just have to learn from my mistake, and I did. But anyway, I think it was a year later, I went back to that store and I wanted to look at the book. I wanted to see it. It was an Amazing Spider-Man 101. It was before I upgraded my 101, and he had a copy which looked like to be a low-grade copy, but I wanted to take a look at it to to double check. I said, "May I see this? May I open it?" The guy said, "No." I was like, "Okay, you could take that back." And that was it. I wasn't about to make that mistake again. What do you mean, no? Oh, I'd like to buy that car. Mind if I take it for a test drive? No. Oh, okay. Sold. Give me a break. Here's another upgrade. Once again, one of my first Silver Age books was X-Men 14. I upgraded this several years ago, about 5 years ago. I think it's a 7.0. Oh, well, that's what PGX says, so who knows? Maybe it's a 6.0. But it's a much nicer copy than my original. I still have my original. The reason why I still have my original was because I don't think I could give away that copy, how bad it is. But still, I like to keep it because of, nostalgic reasons. Got another X-Men. Oh, okay. I saw another book here. X-Men 19. This is probably, what grade is this? Is this a 6? It's a 6.0. I had like maybe a 4.0 copy. No big deal. The 4.0 copy looked pretty cool. It was no big deal. It didn't look like crap or anything like that, but it was a 4.0. And I said, let me see if I get maybe a 6.0, 7.0, and I got a 6.0. So, very happy with that. I was just talking about this book. I forgot I had it in the file. The Amazing Spider-Man 101. My original copy I bought back in 1993. It was probably like a 2.5, maybe a 2.0. And I was looking to upgrade this book for a while. And I just told you the story prematurely, I guess, about how I wanted to buy that book from that same store. And the guy said, no, I couldn't open up the book. I couldn't look at it. So I was like, okay, you can take that back. Shortly after that, I managed to find this book, and I think this is probably a 7.0. It's got that date stamp on it. Yeah, it's 7.0. It's really nice. It could use a press, but it doesn't have too many spine ticks. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back as 7.5, maybe even an 8.0. But I'm no grader, but it's a really nice copy, and I didn't pay anywhere near. I think I paid like maybe $75 for it back then. But this was a while ago now, okay? This wasn't like last year or the year before that when all the rumors of Morbius movie was circulating. This was a while ago. And here we go. I also had a low-grade copy of 102, and I upgraded this. What grade is this? Was this like a 5.5? So I'm happy with that for now. Last two. This is a 4.0 copy of Detective 230. Now, anybody that looks to collect Detective Comics, wants to get Detective 230 in their collection, this is not a cheap book. It really isn't. I mean, I know it's the first Silver Age appearance of the Mad Hatter, but I think it's very expensive. But anyway, this is a 4.0 copy. It's already been pressed. It will not get any higher than a 4.0. Who knows? It might come back at 3.5. I don't know. But I would like to have this book graded one day, so then we can all watch and see what I actually got on it. But 3.5, 4.0. Anyway, regardless, it is light years ahead of my other copy. My other copy had water damage, rust migration. Rust obviously had rusty staples if it had rust migration, but it was complete. But that book sold for a lot of money. I mean, not a ton of money, but it sold for a decent amount of money. It sold for like more than triple what I paid for it years earlier. So hey, it's like I said, no matter what condition this book is in, it seems to fetch a high dollar amount. So in any event, I upgraded it, and I was glad I was able to. And the last book for this haul, oh, one of my crown jewels. And yes, this is an upgrade. Now, I know I showed this book in my latest comic book haul, but I previously purchased this book earlier in the year before this copy. It was a very low grade copy. I mean, this is probably a 3.0, maybe with a press 3.5, who knows. But it's definitely a 3.0, definitely no lower than that. Still, it looks really nice, and 3.0s are, they're not cheap, But anyway, I had a much lower grade, and it had a lot of problems. So, but I was okay with it. It's not like, oh, I need a better grade than this. I really didn't. I was quite happy with it. But like I say over and over again, opportunity presented itself to get this copy. So being that the value of this, it's a high value book, I had to sell the lower grade copy to get some money toward it, because I just simply couldn't just throw down another large amount of money. I didn't pay that much for the other copy, but I sold it, and I got a decent chunk from that to pay for this. So that was one of those cases where, yeah, I did have to sell to help pay for the upgrade. And I think a lot of us have to do that or do that. So anyway, but yeah, nice copy, very happy, well presenting, nothing wrong with it. Staples firmly attached to the cover. There's a little tear over here. A little piece of tape right here, because it's probably like a little split here, but nothing too bad. No restoration, complete. I think I showed the video yet. I don't know when I'm actually going to upload this video, but I did a video where I look into the book so you could see it for yourself. My wife was filming it. You don't get a really good look at every panel, but you get the gist of the artwork and some of the storyline going on. So everyone, thank you for watching, and talk with you all soon. Take care.